Most of the discussion today will just be demoing by Jessie, so I'm gonna hand it over to her.
Right.
And yeah,
Okay. Are you guys done checking in or
it's good. Okay, cool.
attendance good? Okay.
Oh,
Can you get me a? It's
I
okay.
can't
It's
do
not a lot, but I got mute on my computer sadly. Put this away. This is dangerous.
it before.
I think in the end of the last lectures, you guys learned about Sigbar. It's basically something that you can drag around and then see like how the process change and or things like that. There's three other components that might be really helpful, especially if you guys are trying to create a profile or a survey. So the first component, other than Sigbar, is called radio group. Yes, I am recording. So it's called radio group and radio button. So usually radio buttons are surrounded by a radio group. Every radio button inside the radio group, like whenever you like only one radio button can be clicked at a time. So we're gonna do an example here. Let's say 200. And I'm just gonna put it in the center. Okay, now I have a radio group, but there is no button inside of it at this point. I'm gonna add a radio button and give it like whatever text that you want it to be. In this case, I'm gonna say like female. It's better that you put it in a string value, but uh, I'm just gonna do it like a raw string at this point. The thing about having a radio group is that once you click female, male is not going to be clicked. And then if you click male, it's going to uncheck female. So only one button can be clicked at a time. It doesn't matter how many radio button you have. It's always going to be the most recent one you click that's going to appear as checked. In contrast, we have another thing called checkbox. The thing about checkbox is that you can click them as many as of them you want. And the other difference between radio group and checkbox is that for checkbox, you usually have a square icon for the clicking part, and for radio group, you usually have a circular one. That's just how it is. So here's how you create a checkbox. Actually, I'm just gonna copy over all of the constraints. Oh. And this also have a text. It's whatever you wanted the content of the checkbox to be. Let's say if you're in CS 2110 or 2112. And the last component that we're gonna learn about today is called spinner. It's basically like it's a drop down that you can select from. But I'm gonna make it a little bit smaller. Say it's 100 and make it 10. Actually, that's too small. Actually, I'm gonna put it above all of those because this is taking too much space. So I'm gonna give the radio group ID. Let's just say R group. And for the spinner, I'm gonna make it like the bottom of it to align to the top of our group. So now it's just here. Wait, why is this? Why is this marked red? Oh, this is fine. This is just saying that for this picture, am I gonna provide some details about like the picture, whatever that's inside. It's a good styling, but you don't have to have it. Now we have all the components set. But like we usually when user interact with it, we want something to happen. For example, we want to record whether it's female being clicked or male being clicked. And this is the time that we're gonna do it in the colon file. Okay, all those disappear. Again, we're just gonna get all of the components by find view by ID. Oh, I forgot to give the checkbox the ID. I'm gonna do that quickly. Wait, can you pass me my? Actually, I'm gonna charge my screen is just getting. Okay. And the last one is just the spinner. You know what? Okay. Now you might notice that I only did find view by ID for the whole radio group. I didn't do it for specific radio button. It's because that the radio group can know which one of the radio button is being clicked. It knows the ID that's being clicked. So we're gonna program and implement like a way that you can sorry, let me rephrase it. I'm gonna show you how you can get programmatically which radio button is getting clicked. No, not this one. Check listener. Right. And it has two inputs. group and check ID. Okay, yeah. So basically, this event and listener give me like the check ID basically reflects which button is currently being clicked. So um, I'm gonna print out like something in the log that tells you when a radio group is getting clicked. So the check ID is actually a integer. Um, Actually, I'm gonna say if check ID equals to r dot id dot whatever like the radio button's ID is, and then I'm gonna print out that. So I'm gonna go back to the radio button and then give them each ID about like related to their content. So if the button being clicked is female, I'm gonna send a message to the log and then print out female. Else, since in this case we only have two radio group, I'm just gonna use else. It's gonna be male. Okay. I'm gonna test if it works. It's taking a while for it to build. Okay. Wait. I think the checkbox and the whole thing is overlapping. Just gonna comment it out. Let's hope this. Yeah, I shouldn't put them all in the bottom. Right. I'm gonna take this out too. Okay, now I just clicked mail, and then I'm gonna go to the log and see if I get something. Ah, that's a lot of things. Button or radio button. Yay, you get male. And then if I click female, it's gonna print out female. Oh, this is just a small trick about if you're using log and there's a lot of things going on. You can go to like if you are doing like log.i, you go to info, and if you're like doing log.d, you just debug and then search for the tag. And this will make your life much easier. So this is radio group. Do you guys have any questions about radio group? Okay, now we're going to whatever that is. Now we're going to um checkbox. Uncomment off that. And then I'm just gonna comment out radio group. You're right. Oh, that would be such a good example. Okay, I will do that for spinner. That's such a good example. Okay, so for checkbox, it's much easier. Um, like once you check something, there's a very like simple one-liner for you to get whether or not it's checked or not. So I'm gonna create another log for us to see it. Now the name of the tag of it is just checkbox. I can just do checkbox is checked, and I have to turn it into a string, I think, because it's a Boolean value, I believe. And then we're gonna see this again. Oh, wait, our group. Oh yeah, I should do them separately rather than all at once. Okay, let's have you go to the top of checkbox. Yeah, it's just saying I need to. So like there's two round button on the top. If you're making like minor changes, you can use the one that says like apply changes that has an A on it. And if you're like making some major changes, which is what I did, you have to restart the whole app and then you click on the first button. But sometimes it's useful to use the apply changes button because it sometimes build like quickly. Like your result come out quicker. Wait, wait, it says it's false. Oh, wait, they're overlapping. They're at the same spot. Ah, I see. I'm gonna I'm gonna make the design a little bit better. Sorry about that. Margin bottom 100. Is this is this a better design? Okay, I think the better way to do it is like I can constrain like the bottom of one of the checkbox to the top of the other one, or I can just use the linear layout. But like now I just want you guys to see how it works, so I'm just gonna do this. Also, I actually have two like checkbox, so I'm gonna put them both in for the column field. You do? What's happening? Oh, why? Okay. Um, well, which one? Let me see. Give me 1 second. I'm sorry about it.
So what you can do, you have to go back to the layout, and then you can register the on click as a value. So it's kind of actually checkboxes are usually more complex than like what they lead on to be.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Uh, do you want me to finish spinner first?
Yeah, you can finish there.
Okay, yeah. For spinner, basically for spinners, you need to programmatically fill in like the choices you have for like the drop down. So how you do it is first you need to create an array list in Kotlin. let's say it's an array list of string. And then you can add a lot of values into it, like whatever value you want. And can do like pineapple, banana. What's your favorite fruit?
My favorite fruit. I like apples or mangoes
Okay,
or
assume.
peaches
Don't give me that many.
or avocados
I don't know how to. Oh, avocado it
or
is.
grapes are pretty good. I like
Good enough.
strawberries sometimes. Oh,
Good enough.
sorry.
Yeah. Okay. So for spinners, you need an adapter that kind of link up the spinner components and the array list you have. So I'm gonna create an adapter. Wait, how do you get the? Oh, how do you get? Wait, how do you get the ID of the spinner?
Spinner.id or find r.id.
Mm.
It should just already be like the default in Android. So you can just be able to do Android dot art. You should be able to just do.
Wait, can I just do like spinner? Did I not create a spinner? I didn't create a spinner object. Or did I comment it out? Oh, it's beneath it. Never mind. Sorry about that. Can I just do? Wait, and then wait. I don't. Oh, I can just do a spinner and then the item list. Actually, do you want to talk about the homework first? Yeah. I got it working before this, but oh, it's fine. It's fine. You can just. I will go back to it. Do you wanna?
I can go with checkbox.
Okay, yeah, you can go over chat. Do you wanna go over on my side or your
Yeah,
side?
it's easier on yours.
Okay, yeah.
Sorry, I'm just gonna go over checkbox really quick. We'll come back to spinners. Um, yeah, I'm just gonna comment this stuff out. So what's unique about checkbox, usually when you're defining like your event listeners, it's usually in your actual activity. But what's unique about checkbox is that the event listener callback has to actually go in the layout file. So you can add your do this. And when you're adding your on click here, it has to be the exact function name that you implement eventually, or so that when this checkbox is clicked on, it'll call this function in your actual activity. So let's say let's just call this checkbox is clicked, and let's call this, and then this has to get the same on click function too. on clicked. Checkbox is clicked. Oh, all right. And now we can define, now we have to define this function of the, inside of here. So we can just add this function, which is called checkbox is clicked. Checkbox is clicked. And then the result of this function takes in a view. You have to import that. Nice. And then you can check to see if the view that you're clicking on is a checkbox in the first place. Because you can also use this function for multiple different, I guess, views that you want to click on. But in this case, you want to only specifically check for if it's a checkbox, just like so. And then we can also check to see if whatever view, because we don't know what view is being passed on along. It could be this checkbox or this checkbox. So we don't necessarily know what's being clicked on or if it's clicked in the first place. So we can check it through this is clicked. Is checked. No, not is clicked. Yeah, it's checked. And then this will be true or false if the given checkbox is actually checked when it's checked on. Yeah. And then how do we know what checkbox we're actually checked on? We can do this by filtering through the different IDs. So if view.id is equal to the ID of this checkbox here, in this case, these don't have IDs. I'll give this one checkbox 2, and I'll give this an ID of checkbox 1. Android ID, and I'll give this one checkbox 1. There we go. So if UID is equal to r.id.checkbox1, what should we log? Let's log, actually, I also want to check to see if it's, actually, no, I'll do this. If it's checked and also if it's checked as well. I want to change the value, the number, the letter, the name of this. So if the ID happens to be the checkbox 1 and it's clicked on as well, let's log my favorite fruit, which is apples, right? But if the view ID is a second one, let's do something else. In this case, we only have 2 checkboxes, so I'll just put an if else. If you have multiple, then you have to do multiple if else branches. But in this case, I only have 2 checkboxes, so I'll just do this. Let's log. Actually, yeah, that should be fine. Actually, yeah, that should be okay. Let's log another favorite food of mine, grapes. Grapes are good, right? Specifically red grapes. I think green grapes are really disgusting, but that's another question for another day. Guess you can try running this. Wow, this emulator is much more faster than my computer. I'm kind of jealous. Okay. Now let's try checking this box. Oh! I crashed. Oh no. What is this? What's it say? Could not find method checkbox is clicked. What did I do wrong? Checkbox is
Did you
clicked.
not delete my code? Or
Checkbox is clicked. Oh no. It's clicked. That is an info.
yeah, maybe this is my Android Studio version. That's
No, I think it's fine. Public. Oh gosh. That actually might be why. Okay, thank you. Good check. Okay.
Nice. Give you bonus for that.
Okay. Now, oh, oh, I did log ID. Okay, I almost had a heart attack. Okay, red grapes. Whew. Okay, good. In this case, 2110? Oh, okay. So this is checkbox. So this is actually checkbox 2, which makes sense. So it's in this case. Then let's check checkbox 1. In this case, these are overlapping again. Oh my gosh. But yes. See, it's like barely. Just let's just do wrap content. It's much more simpler, I think. Wrap content, wrap content, and then wrap content for this, wrap content for this.
Oh, and I had margin. You can delete the margin. 100.
Oh, 100 margin. Oh my gosh. Yeah. But in this case, when I was doing this, you can also break this down further to say, well, what if you want to do something else per se, if it's clicked or if it isn't clicked? You can also handle that too. If it's checked, maybe I want to do apples the same way, but if it's unchecked, maybe I want to do what's another fruit? Another good fruit. Um, mangoes. Mangoes. This is for checkbox 1. Okay. Checkbox 1. Where are they?
Oh, they're overlapping. If I don't do the margin 10 is too small. I feel like
This is.
because they're both constrained to the bottom of the parent. So the better practice is either use the linear layout or constrain the bottom to the top of the item beneath it.
What is happening with all of this?
So it's better to like do this to another component rather than have them both like constrained to the same thing. Like, yeah.
Okay, so in this case, we have apples, and then when I uncheck it, I get what?
Groups.
Oh, because of this. Oh my
The
gosh,
logic.
I'm messing up the logic everywhere. Okay, I'm gonna run it one more time.
It has been a long day.
Okay, apples and then mangoes. There we go. Okay, that took a minute. Okay, and then we have red grapes, and this should be the red grapes for both because I didn't specify like if it's checked or if it isn't, so we get that.
Okay. Let me see if I can get spinners up and running. Wait, did you delete that? Oh, did not delete everything. 1 second. Seems like. Wait, it seems like. Uh. Oh, you delete my adapter, array adapter.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I deleted
Oh,
one of
it's
her
fine, it's fine.
lines of code.
1 second. Oh.
Oh,
Let me try this again. Someone's. Is this an iPhone?
there we go. Simple spinner item, right? I think?
Right.
Yeah. This
Yeah.
is the part that we.
Yeah, I
Simple
just
spinner.
forgot how to. What was it? But basically, it's a style default like provided by Android Studio. You can actually customize your own, like what you want each of the spinner item to look like. But this is just the default that Android provide, and kind of have to memorize a little bit, but you can always search online. Um, and the last part is just
Now you have to pass in the actual objects that you want to create. I guess a list of, right? Yeah.
right a list of stuff. This is okay. So array adapter takes in three parameters. The first one is the context. In this case, it's basically this main activity where the whole main activity is running in. So you're just gonna say this because you're currently in the main activity. And the second parameter is basically what you want each of the spinner item to look like. I'm just using a default one that Android Studio provides. And the last one is like a bunch of choices that you have, like you provide it for your users whatsoever. You can do whatever you want here. And I'm just doing pineapple, banana, and avocado for my like example. And last but not least, I have to pass on this adapter to the spinner. Wait, this set adapter. Oh, just spinner adapter. Just after you said my computer is fast, I think it's running slow right now.
Oh, did I jinx it?
I don't know, it's kind of slow right now. But yeah, let's see.
I think you might have to adjust the layout because I think I might have messed up spinner wise where things are. Oh, it should be good. Might want to, yeah, that should be good.
Should be good. We have pineapple, banana, avocado. Now they're kind of together, which is hard to see, but like you can definitely make your own like customize your layout for this.
Yeah, the kind of default layouts are kind of bad provided by Kotlin. I mean, provided by Android. So you might find yourself like customizing things you're liking a lot in Android. So especially when it gets to recycle views, I guess there's a lot of customization.
Right. So what if any like if you select something from the spinner, what if you want your code to reflect that? There's a thing called on item selected.
This is like another event listener in this case for spinner, similar to like the seek bar listeners and the button listeners. Just another way of getting input from the spinner.
What's it give me out? I don't remember exactly what's
Object equals object equals, or like, yeah,
wait on item click listener like a
on item selected listener. Similar to like the spinner, not the spinner, the seek bar interface. You'll have to implement like base functions. It'll ask you to implement some functions, and then you should be able to click it. Yeah, you can see kind of like the default functions like this, and then you have to have the second one too, right?
it's not wait
Yeah, you have to have the second function. This too. Yeah, there's two functions.
here I like this. Okay. And then I think P1 wait P2 will be like which index it got selected, right? Which index of like the array list you got selected. So let's do log again to see like what happened if you select something in the spinner.
And once again, it always gives you bad names in terms of parameters, but you can change them to your liking if you want to make them more readable. Because the P1, P2, P3 is not very intuitive. So
Right. Wait, did you use debug?
yeah, it's a force of habit. I'm always using debug. So
Okay, is default to selection 0? Let's say if we select
oh, one. That's nice. And then banana and avocado. Two.
2.
Okay.
And there's a lot of things that you can do about it. For example, like you can like after something gets selected, you can change some other components in your app, and you can even change the spinner as you are clicking onto it. But yeah, that's the last component that we're gonna talk about today. Last but not least, we're gonna go over the homework quickly. So yeah.
Hi everyone. Hi everyone. Before class ends, I just want to kind of give a quick overview of homework one. So here we have to do zero. Just kind of wanted you to get, just kind of wanted you to get familiarized with mutability as we discussed in the first lecture. Just like the most important, one of the most important, one of the more important properties of Kotlin. I think originally here it was val. So in this case, you would have gotten an error because you can't mutate things twice. So you're meant to just change this to a var. Nice. And next we'll just go attack the to-dos here. So this is just to-do one. Edit the text so that this text view will read your first name and last name. So in this case, I use, it's a good thing to try and use the string, which lives in the resource file under values. You want to try and use string values as much as possible. So here I just created a string as my name, Chris Desir, and then I just referenced the string in the text using this @string notation here, and then I just added that to my name. And then here, change your SRC to a different picture of your choice. In this case, I added a nice fit pic of me. Um, I just added the drawable of me to, first I added the drawable here of me, this person.jpg, and then I referenced it in the image view using this src compat, which sets the drawable as a content of this image view. Simple. And then for to do 3, very similar to do 1, changing the text to your first and last name. In this case, just changing the text to fun fact, but instead it's getting you explicitly to use the strings.xml file here. In this case, I added a fun fact string here, and then I referenced it the same way I did with the edit text with @string/fun fact. Very similar here to do 4, using the same kind of idea, accessing the string file. Sorry, oh my gosh. Sorry, accessing the string file, um, creating a string value, new name, boom, 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 and then of course, text style bold. And you can do a lot. You can change the italics if you wanted to. You can change to all caps. You can change the appearance, the color. There's a lot of things that you can do that I will leave it to you to explore. But yeah, in this case, I don't think text all caps will work since this is already established. I think you can't change the hint text to all caps, but you can change the text if when you're typing to all caps. So yes, no problems here. And then here for modify the color of the button to be any shade of blue. I think I added this teal here under the colors.xml in our res file. So I just changed it to the teal that was already provided, teal 200. And then I think I changed the text color to black for fun. I just wanted to show that you can also change the color of the text as well. You can change the color of the text as well to white, anything you want, basically, you can customize it. You can change the style to italic if you wanted to. That'll change that to italics. So yeah. And to change the background, you have to do background tint, like the tint of something. The tint of this background is teal. Now we can move on to the main activity. So yeah, set the button below. Set the button the text or change button to button text in the strings or XML file. So in this case, get string is so equivalently of how you can use @string to get the strings in the XML file. You can use something similar in the actual activity. You can do get string, and that gets the string from whatever resource, and you have to give it the ID of the string you're trying to get. So in this case, we want the ID string button text here, and we can get that string directly like this. And then for this to do 7, it's just getting you to fill out this event listener of this change button. In this case, we wanted to change the text to the text of the text view to the text in the edit text. So in this case, if you're coming from Java, you might be tempted to do set text here. But what's nice about Kotlin is that you can actually name TV. What's nice about Kotlin is that you can change the text of things directly by just accessing the attribute of whatever you want to change. In this case, I want to change the text. It'll probably tell me that I can just, it'll tell me that I can even simplify it down to the text. I can simplify it down to property access. So if I wanted to change the text, the name text, I can just access that property and change it directly. So this period.text acts as both a getter and a setter. I think that was all the to-dos that you had to do for homework 1. Just gonna double check. Yep, seems like we did all the to-dos. So yeah. Um, I just want to say good luck on homework two. There's no starter code for it. It's all from scratch. So you can kind of base it. You can kind of base it off of this idea. Late init, getting the different components, and then find view by ID, and then manipulating them as you wish, and you can kind of follow through from there. And yeah, that's it for class today. Thanks guys for coming. And yeah.